Once again, WWE's icy scythe of budget cuts falls again. But we're the Wrestling Council. Welcome to the Wrestling Council. I'm your host, Comic Book Bob. Joined as always by my good friend, Hollywood Frank.
It's me. Baby, boom.
You can catch us here every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, talking about all the interesting news in the world of wrestling. And once again, as I said, the icy scythe of John Laurinaitis and Vince's budget cuts fallen. 9 more releases with a lot of sources saying more expected. It is what it is. But before that, let's go ahead and talk about checking in with everybody, see how everybody's doing. Big Daddy was here early. He said, "The Council, Big Daddy, the Guardian of Chaos." Guys, check him out on his YouTube channel. Check him out on Twitter. Big Daddy's a lot of fun. He's got a lot of knowledge. He's been in the business for a long time. Appreciate you being here, Big Daddy. Hicks Villain was here. He said, "Sup? What's up? You know what happens when you say what's up."
Sup?
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 Hello.
What's up?
What's up?
Yep.
Leg Kick says, "Hail the Wrestling Council. Hail, Leg Kick." Thanks for being here, brother. Appreciate it. Maldecito said, "Hola." That's like one of the only 10 Spanish words I know. Hola.
You know more than that. You'd be surprised.
If you're driving home, Maldecito, keep your eyes on the road. Be safe, brother. And everybody else will slowly be trickling in here. But yeah, interesting week, man.
Yep.
Very interesting week.
Yeah.
But a lot of stuff to get into. Everyone's saying so. What's up? But before we get any further into the topic at hand, we want to go ahead and do our favorite segment of the show. Something we call the good, the bad, and the ugly. Talking about all the good, bad, and ugly in the world of wrestling. And this week, Hollywood is first.
This guy.
What's up? You're scoop me. Come on, bro.
What?
I said, don't scoop me.
Hey, it's May the 3rd, but tomorrow, baby.
May the 4th.
May the 4th be with you. Bam.
Vader did nothing wrong.
It's Star Wars Day tomorrow, baby.
Yeah.
We're not going to be on tomorrow, so
Yep.
Empire Strikes Back is the best movie, hands down, Star Wars movie.
100%.
So. Ah!
Oh, no! Frank's breaking all his shit.
There you go. Anywho, good, bad, and ugly. The good, probably one of the best matches of the past week was Cash versus Wheeler.
So
Kick
good,
off
dude.
Dynamite last Wednesday.
Oh my god, man! Like you go, I love how they interweave so much stuff with Bret Hart and Owen in that match, man.
And from what I've been hearing is that the contract Bret Hart signed is only a merchandise contract. It's not a regular contract, so he can appear on AEW or any other promotion he wants to. So you never know.
Yeah, I think given the way that it's been interpreted and the way it's been implied, that they're basically saying, "Hey, man, just don't do it, and here's this contract for you, and we'll push that," because I think they realize that tournament's going to be a big deal. So. Yeah, leg kick. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. Oh my god. Oh dear, baby Jeebus. I can't.
Yeah. So
anyway, I'm not gonna derail you. Go, man.
So my good, Wheeler versus Dax versus Cash. I mean,
Dax versus Cash was awesome.
Yeah, had CM Punk on commentary, which is great. Those two guys showing their love for Owen Hart and the Hart family in itself. Obviously, I'd be happy with either one of them who won. Hate to see one of them lose on Wednesday, but it's their dream match to go up against each other. We talked about it last week, and they put on a good show. And unfortunately, it went downhill from there with everything else, including Arcade Bro, Usos. We're going to be we're going to be unification. And no. Let's unify the world titles, but and let's say we're going to unify the tag. No. We've got to insert McIntyre and Roman Reigns in that whole fiasco.
Stupid. There was so much excitement over that unification match, man. It was the most attention that anybody's paid to the WWE's tag team division in a long time, and they're like, nope. And the reasoning for it was just stupid.
Yeah, they want to save Roman Reigns versus McIntyre for a different event.
Well, no, just the storyline element. Like, Roman is the one who told them that he wanted this.
Yep.
And then the very next week, no, I won't do that. Like, what? It's oh god, I can't. WWE's booking is friggin' atrocious. What's up, Jenny Cage? What do you want to talk about? Not this.
And then the ugly is hey, if you're hired and you go down to NXT, you have three months to prove yourself, or
you're out.
You're out.
Yep.
You're out. So, So the cuts that we have, the 10 people that got cut the other day,
9 people,
or whatever.
Yeah,
9.
More to come.
What's one more matter?
Yeah.
So all the people that got cut because of Laurinaitis, there could be more every. I guess that 90 days starts now. So every time they bring in some class, 3 months later, we're going to probably kick at least half of them to the curb.
And the ones that keeping it are not particularly. I mean, you're not getting a whole lot of brawn breakers.
And even if you get over at NXT, you might not get over to be able to get called up.
Because they're going to change anything about you when they bring you up to the main roster.
Including your name.
Oh, my God, dude.
Which Roderick Strong said, You're not changing my name.
Yeah, Vince saw Nikita Lyons and Dakota Kai and made his choice. Yeah, it's all about that booty.
Well, and Dakota said she wasn't going to sign.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, so that's the one thing I will say. Some of the people that I think 3 of the people that were let go were let go for reasons other than budget cuts. One of them, however, I'm like, you can't. Did you think you were going to turn this guy into a star in a couple of months? Is it the wrong mic again? Son of a.
What? What?
Mike. Yep.
There we go.
Wrong mic.
Yeah, it's for some reason the app keeps switching over away from my Blue Yeti. All right, that should be better. Apologies, guys. But yeah, you're not going to get like specifically Parker Boudreaux, aka Harlan, which was a stupid thing, and then they made him shave his head. Anyway,
all right, that's my GBU. Your turn.
Yeah, this is okay. Yeah, we'll talk about it more later. So my GBU. Let's talk about the good. The good. Lot of really good wrestling this week, guys. Specifically between AEW and New Japan, continuing to build towards Forbidden Door. There's so much movement on this. There's been so much crossover announcements on for Best of the Super Juniors, and one of the people that I wanted. He's going to be in the Super Juniors. Wheeler Yuta is going to be in the Best of the Super Juniors, man. And that guy is going to be a freaking star. I can't wait. There's a lot more Western talent in the Best of the Super Juniors. Like I said, New Japan does tournaments better than anybody. And I guarantee you they're going to use Wheeler to set up stuff for Forbidden Door. 100% guaranteed. And that's a tournament where like a guy like him can really shine.
Yep.
I can't friggin' wait, dude. Best of Super Juniors is going to be awesome. Robbie Eagles is coming back. There's a lot of Western talent. There's at least 5 guys from the West in there in this year, so it's going to be awesome. This weekend, but they also had the Wrestling Dontaku, which was the big event for this month for New Japan, and you had a bunch of setup, man. You had Hiroshi Tanahashi retaking the IWGP US title that was vacated by Sonata, beat Tomohiro Ishii. He immediately gets beat down by Juice Robinson joining the freaking Bullet Club, which was like, holy crap, dude. That was like, it was awesome. But the fact that Tana has the belt again and he's starting his thing with Moxley, they want to put that belt back on Mox. 100%. You had that. Then you had Okada defeating Naito. Jay White came out. Basically, Bullet Club beating down Okada, and then Okada afterwards had a press conference where he said that doing Forbidden Door, there was no point in doing Forbidden Door without him. So he's going to be there. He's already said that he wants to wrestle either Bryan Danielson or CM Punk. Both of those are freaking dream matches. It's like for a New Japan guy like me, it's friggin' candy, man. I can't friggin' wait. Then we just had even more crossover when for the Lace Defy show, you had John Moxley versus Tom Lawler. Lawler is the New Japan Strong Never Openweight champion. They had a really good match. Moxley beating Lawler there. He indicated that the next Defy show, he might be teaming up with Bryan Danielson. So a lot of good wrestling this week. And just continuing to build towards Forbidden Door, which is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, I think.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about AAA.
Oh, no. Yeah. Well, some people are not really particularly happy about some of the stuff that happened in AAA.
Yeah.
With, Ty and Sammy becoming the mixed tag champions. You had the Bucks winning the they won the world title, the tag titles, didn't they? No, that was just it was just a tag match. But there was a lot of crossover in between AEW and AAA. Did you know there's going to be these other companies, like we said, they're going to want to get in on this. They 100% want to get on this. So, and just look at the card for next week, man. You've got on Rampage, you've got oh God, my brain does not want to work. For Dynamite next week, you've got the unification of the ROH belt with Deonna Purrazzo, who's also an Impact talent. You got all this. You got Morrissey coming over to challenge Wardlow. So it's looking like the Impact relationship is beginning to heal and shore up. So they're going to want to be involved in this thing. So that we could get and Juice Robinson and the Briscoes are on Impact, so we can get some more crossover there.
You got
Robinson is in Impact right now, so
you got Bobby Fish versus Jeff Hardy for Owen Hart qualifier.
Yeah, a lot of it's the wrestling this weekend was awesome, and this continued setup for Forbidden Door is just like I said. I'm fanboying out. The Bad. Oh my God! It's
where do you start?
It was a tie between WWE's just absolute nonsensical booking and all these releases. The booking, like we said, the booking, it just none of it makes sense. It's not even that particularly bad. It's like it doesn't make any sense. It's all over the place. Yeah. Leg kick. It's gonna be Morrissey versus Wardlow.
And you can't
teach that. But yeah, that just hesitates still on the floor. Dude, he freaking blasted her too, man. That was like, I was like, what? Because I was watching it the only way I could, but it was in the background, and I'm like, what the hell? All you hear is crack, and it's like, what? Who? What? He blasted her too, man. But yeah, just like not even just the main event, man. It was like they don't know what they're doing. I don't even know why they have. Well, I know why they do 24/7 crap is because people think it's a small group of people think it's funny. I think it's a waste of time. Veer, I do like the way that they're doing Veer. They're kind of doing him the way that they brought Braun Strowman up, where he just comes in and he crushes a local talent or a developmental talent. Just comes in and just destroys them. I just don't know where they're going with it because he seems very one-dimensional.
Lars Sullivan.
Yeah, it's the way they always do their monsters, man. Then they got all this crap. This new talent, Ezekiel, and their idea of getting him over is to have him lose. Okay, I mean, nobody likes this angle. Nobody cares about this angle anyway. But whatever. So he didn't even get 3 weeks. Nikki, like I said, like I'm going to talk about the 24/7 stuff. It was just stupid, and then all the I want a divorce and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, R-Truth Esquire.
Yeah, pretty much. WWE continues to like completely take a crap on Cedric Alexander. The segment between Seth and Cody was good. I mean, that was one of the best things of the show. The women's match this week was actually decent. They did some storytelling, but I have no idea. I don't know if they're going to do anything with it. And then, of course, the stupid segment to begin with, you got Roman and the Usos come out and they're doing their thing. They get punked by RK Bro, which was the cool. And then you got Roman in the ring by himself with them and McIntyre, and it's like, yeah, now's the time. Here's the comeback. Here's the payback for all that. No, they just leave. They just leave. It's like, and I'm calling it right now. Roman's hurt. Roman is injured. I don't care what they say. I'm saying he's hurt. This is the only reason to book him this way. It's the only reason. It's whatever, and just all that build up to this unification match out the door. I don't want to talk about it anymore. But then and then there's on top of that, there's the releases. You've got Dexter Lumis, who was in the middle of a freaking storyline. He's gone. Harlan was in the middle of a storyline. He's gone. Malcolm Bivens, although Malcolm Bivens made it clear that he wasn't going to resign because didn't like what was going on. Because the only reason, actually, he was going to leave before, but he stayed on because of the whole Diamond Mine thing, which all completely went to crap. And just the fact that so many of these people were involved in storylines or were part of something that they were building up, and literally the day of, they're like, nope, they're gone. And so all the people in NXT are pissed off because they're like, they got to pick up the pieces. And then, you get something like Parker Boudreaux, who had an amazing look, who's awesome collegiate athlete, and you're not going to give him enough time to develop. Either this guy was so thick-headed he just sucked, or they're like, if you're not like Kurt Angle and you can't get over in the next couple of months, you're gone.
So what's going to happen to Gabe Stevenson if he can't develop? And they're not going to let him go.
They've already paid him a bunch of money.
Yeah,
it's, dude. how does any of this make sense?
And I know you mentioned, but one of the guys they released, they said he could have been the next Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, Parker Boudreaux.
Yeah,
aka Harlan, which I'm like, he ain't gonna be the next. As soon as they debuted that Harlan BS, I was like, he ain't gonna be the next Brock Lesnar. Not if you're booking him like this. But yeah, it's like, and it's, we'll talk about the difference between budget cuts and like, in AEW, they let some guys contracts lapse. These people were just flat out fired.
Yeah. And then McMahon, add another banned word. Non-title championship contenders. So no more non-title. Can't say it's a non-title.
You can't say non-title. It's a championship contenders match against the champion, which is like, didn't make sense to begin with, and now it makes even some less sense. And it's and the fact, and that Vince basically came out and said that he's never satisfied with the product. I was like, well, it shows, man, because none of it makes any sense. But anyway, there's that. And then my ugly, the big story came out where Ember Moon and then Nia Jax confirmed it about the meetings about WWE's dress code. Look, I'm not against women dressing skimpy. I'm a red-blooded American man just as much as the next guy. But when you got some dude like John Laurinaitis, some creepy guy, grandpa's saying, yeah, you need to dress more like Mandy Rose. Because, yeah, we really like Mandy. Oh, we really like Mandy. Like, that's just creepy. That's like, it's like really? Are you serious? It's like, come on, man. But yeah, that's like the fact that they actually had a meeting and told them to do this stuff and they didn't confirm that Laurinaitis was behind it, but Laurinaitis was behind it. It happened after when Hunter was went down with his heart issues, and they basically came in there and been like, "Yeah, we need you guys to sex it up."
Yep.
Which says, if you want to do that, if they want to do that, I'm 100% behind it, man. But some of them are like Ember Moon such is like, I try to cater to kids and stuff like that. I don't want to do that. So yeah, that's depressing, man. Just how bad WWE's been. It's not fun. I don't like crapping on them, man. But when your booking makes no sense, it just makes no sense, man. And then usually Raw is a little bit better, but this week it was just dumb. But anyway, guys,
what about this match for tomorrow for Owen Hart qualifier? Ray Phoenix versus Dante Martin.
I'm 100% behind it, dude. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, just been confirmed by Tony Khan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. And then, well, there's like three qualifying matches this week. You got what was it?
Yeah, Jeff versus
Fish. Bobby Fish.
Yep.
You've got Dante versus
Phoenix.
Ray Phoenix now, which is going to be awesome because I want to see that, because this is awesome. This is a tune-up for Ray to get back into it. Then you've got Yuka Sakazaki versus Riho, which is going to make all the Joshi wrestlers happy. Riho.
Welcome back, Riho.
Yep. Welcome back, Yuka. All of them, man. It's like, what the hell? Like for this, yeah, and then well, actually, there's 2 women's matches this week on Rampage. There's Britt and Jamie versus Tony and Ruby Soho. So, but yeah, like I agree with you 100% leg kick. Anyway, that's my good, my bad, my ugly. Leg kick said, I get the feeling Andrade is going to bring back Los Ingobernables, or however you spell it. I'm going to give you a pass on pronouncing it, Bob. I think Rush is coming to AEW. Very possible. I definitely think we're going to get some kind of a crossover between Los Ingobernables and Los Ingobernables de Japón in Japan. If they don't, they're missing a golden opportunity. And for God's sake, will you put Andrade over? Andrade. Just put him over, for God's sake. The dude's so good. And that's one of the black eyes for AEW right now, is the way that they've booked him. And the guy's too good to be in lower mid card like that. Come on. Like I said, Rod Kick Act versus release WWE because he doesn't like the stupid name change. Dude, he wanted his release for a lot of stuff. He actually wanted his release. He's asked for his release a couple of times. But the fact that they cut all these people and then they're just looking at him going, no. And they're like, no, you can't leave. There's only one reason for that. What'd you say, man?
Him and Mustafa, both.
Yeah, both of them. The only reason they didn't release those two guys is because they know the value they have in other companies. Vince doesn't care for them, but the people running them know that if they leave, that's a boom. Yep. You get the full undisputed.
Yep.
The good Ray Phoenix is back. The bad WE in general. The ugly homeboy getting kicked in the nuggets by Tay. Oh my God. Jeez, dude. Actually, the ugly should have been Sammy damn near killing himself. Like measuring himself, I think it was Johnny Cage's Sammy measuring himself for a friggin' 6-foot wooden suit. Holy crap, dude. When you gotta stop the match to check and make sure the dude isn't dead, that's a problem. Like he's like, and then he used that in the AAA show this week. But I'm like, look, dude, I'm all about doing high spots. I'm all about doing it. But if you are to the point where you're doing stuff where you're damn near where even just a slight thing wrong and you're gonna kill you, I don't need to see that.
Yeah, we don't need to see him and Darby Allin going the way of Dynamite Kid.
Yeah, it's it's scary, man. On the side notes, Stu Grayson didn't send any kind. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. Like I said, I'd like to see Stu Grayson and Oni Lorcan or whatever his name is now as a tag team. That wouldn't be bad. Call them the Baldies. How is Sky going to catch that rotating mess? I don't know, dude. But you know what, though? I'm gonna tell you something. In a span of 3 weeks since Sammy beat him for the title, and then they had in between, then they had another match, and he beat him, and Sky took the title back. They have turned Scorpio Sky into a massive babyface. That dude got a pop like you wouldn't believe. Yo, but how many times do I get to say nuggets on the show? I am not a nugget. Andrade and Bandito wrestling AAA was great, but part of a mess of a trios match. Yeah, it was kind of, that was the problem, man. That was the problem with this AAA show, is it was kind of the stuff that was cool, that was really cool, but there was a lot. It felt slapdash, to be honest. Andrade needs a good manager for yesterday. He needs someone to talk for him because he still has a lot of trouble with English. But let the guy get over, man. For God's sake, he's so freaking good in the damn ring. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world right now. Skill-wise, in the ring, I put him in there with guys like Seth Rollins and Bryan Danielson. You know, he's that good. Let the guy be a star, man. You've got it there. It's just, this is one of the few things AEW has done wrong that I'm just like, I don't get it. But Darby's stuff makes more sense, looks better, and somehow it's safer. Darby's gonna kill himself. Okay, let's be clear. Both of these guys are taking risks they don't need to take. Now here's the thing: Darby has been 100% upfront about it and said that, yeah, he's like, I'm gonna have a very short career. Now, whether you agree with that or you disagree with that that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's what he's said. He's a skateboard nut. All right, they do that. Sammy is a 100% professional wrestler looking for having a long. If you're gonna do spots like that, man, you need to do more planning, because that was just, he legit damn near killed himself.
And for me, I mean, you've ladder matches should be few and far between. It seems like every couple of weeks. I mean, we had one in Cleveland with Sammy Guevara.
Yeah.
And you had another one a month later. Now you've got another one. It's like, calm down.
Yeah. Seriously, it's like, okay, look, slow down. Okay, even the Hardys didn't have ladder matches every week. All right, and they were crazy. They were legit. Back in the day, Jeff and Matt were legit out of their minds. So
it's one thing to be the Dudley Boys and pull out a table and put somebody through a table, because that's your shtick.
Yeah.
But you didn't have to do it every time because they might pull out a table because the fans asked for it, and then something happens and the opponents run off. Okay, fine. But to have a ladder match so often is you're diluting the product.
And it almost feels like he's like, I gotta top myself every single time. And if that's the way you're thinking, it's like, yeah, you're gonna die. You end up paralyzing yourself or doing something stupid. So they need to like chill out with that.
You never know when that ladder is going to do something you don't expect it to do.
Dude, I saw a spot that John Morrison did, and I'm like, dude, you should. If he didn't get chewed out in the back, he should have, because he did a flip. He had the ladder laterally across his body, and he did a moonsault, but he didn't have hold of the other half of the ladder. So as he was rotating, the leg of it comes down, and it almost stabbed whoever was believing. And I'm like, dude, you could have seriously hurt somebody with that. Don't do stupid crap like that. But like I said, Bandito is so darn good. I would love to see Bandito and Dragon Lee versus Lucha Bros. Yeah, dude, I love Bandito. Bandito is awesome. Johnny said, since that 450 on the empty table to the floor, I gave up on Sammy. No brains. Yeah, dude, I still like Alberto Del Rio. He's darn good in the ring as well. Yeah, that dude's a walking controversy, though. That's the big problem with him. And Johnny said, he'll step up a notch every time, making people forget this previously deadly stupid spot in a week. I don't know, man. From what I've seen online and everything, it looks like he kind of got the point. So thank God. Kitty. But yeah, that was my good, my bad, my ugly. All right, let's get into some of this the releases, and also the AEW. A couple of guys had their AEW contracts expire. Marco Stunt, Stu Grayson, and Jack Evans from TH2. Their contracts expired. You would imagine that if their contracts expired, anybody who signed around that same time, either their contract is about to expire or this is the only releases that AEW has done so far, because I haven't heard of anybody else. So, but a lot of people are comparing this to the WWE releases. Here's the difference between this and the WWE releases. These guys weren't fired. Their contracts were honored all the way through to the time that was signed. So there was no surprise in this. These guys, they were 100% aware, and they were 100%. They weren't blindsided by this. All the people who were released by WWE, with the exception of Dakota Kai, were blindsided by this. They're like, wait, what? I don't have a job anymore.
Yeah. And until AEW gets TV contract for Ring of Honor or somebody, something, you've got a lot of talent on AEW that's not even getting used. And this is going to happen. Yeah. People's contracts are going to run out.
Yeah, and like I said, and a lot of people are saying like, well, they got money to sign this guy and this guy, but they can't keep this dude. It's like the reason why they bring in these other people is to shore up their talent. And when you do that, you don't necessarily need as many people on the lower mid card anymore. Also, there's that like when it comes to Marco has made it clear that he wants to pursue his music career more heavily. So some of these guys, they're not being re-signed because they're like, hey, I'm going to have to reduce my amount of time that I can do, yada, yada, yada. And they're like, well, it's not really worth it for us. With AEW, it really is more of a contractual negotiation thing. Whereas with WWE, it's just like Vince decided I don't want this. I don't want these toys anymore. Get rid of them.
And you've got contracts not coming up right now, but you have contracts coming up next year and the beginning of the year after that.
Mm-hmm.
MJF, other talent, Jungle Boy, that you're gonna have to pay these guys.
Yeah, well, MJF isn't until 2024,
beginning like January 1st.
Yeah.
But you've got guys, Jungle Boy, MJF,
mm-hmm.
Sammy Guevara, the pillars of AEW, their contract's going to come up sooner or later. And if you keep paying all these guys on your roster that you're not using, you're wasting money for no reason.
Yeah, and not only that, but let's also remember that a lot of these guys they work in other companies. I mean, how many times have we seen these guys working in New Japan Strong episodes of New Japan Strong? They work GCW, Defy. It's not like they're unemployed. It's that the AEW gave them a contract to be basically talent available to them to use. So, actually, let me see. Will Ospreay knew not to keep doing crazy stuff and went for a more ground game. He wants a longer career. Guevara is going to have a short career if he keeps it up. Well, Ospreay still does like some really like crazy Daredevil stuff. He just doesn't do it anywhere near as much as he used to. He learned how to pace himself. That's what happened with Ospreay. He learned how. It's kind of like what they did with the Undertaker. Mark Callis was talking about how he had to see these big guys doing all these crazy moves. He's like, I could do that stuff, but they're like, you don't have to do that, and it's not necessary. Ospreay, what happened with Ospreay is Ospreay learned how to pace himself and tell a good story in the ring. That's because you can go watch that match that he had with Moxley. He's still doing a lot of his high impact stuff. He's just not doing it at 1,000 miles an hour. Like he figured out he could slow it down to 50 miles an hour and still be Will Ospreay. So but that's the other thing too is that he doesn't do those crazy death defying things as much as he used to because they're unnecessary. And when you do them sparingly, they actually have more impact. So Sammy's just like he said, as he's young and he's crazy. Unless you run your dick then they let you go early. Shout out to Leo Rush. The thing with Leo, I don't think that's why Leo. I think Leo is just a very mercurial person and just honestly doesn't really know what he wants. Great talent. I agree with him more than I disagree with him, but man, he seems a little manic at times. So, but shout out to Leo Rush. Hope he's doing well. Johnny said, nothing against the guy. I'm astonished Stunt ever got a contract to begin with. Dude, Marco Stunt was over like Rover when he showed up. The friggin' fans in the arenas loved him. And, I mean, who doesn't love a good David and Goliath story? The problem is that when that's your only thing, when that's your shtick, your only thing, where do you go from there? Yeah, how many
go Hornswoggle versus Stunt. That's where you go.
Yeah, but I would have kept him around just to be like I don't know, I mean like a valet type thing or something like that, just a mouthpiece to hang out with him because that's what a lot of people liked him for. Is Kushida returning to the Super J Cup? I don't think so. You mean the best of the Super Juniors? Because that's coming up. Super J Cup isn't for a while yet. I do not believe that he is in the because I'm looking at both blocks, and he's not involved with the best of Super Juniors. But I wouldn't be surprised because them letting him go was stupid.
Yep,
that dude was awesome. Also gone, the Iconics up and retired out of nowhere. Dude, they're going to OnlyFans. Jeez, please. They found out how much money friggin' Tony Storm made in one freaking day. Made 10 grand in a day.
And Peyton Royce has nothing to worry about. I mean, with Shawn Spears with AEW, I mean.
Yeah. Leo has issues. Yeah. Your David has to be somewhat believable. Watching Hager go more than 5 seconds was just goofy. It is what it is, man. I mean, let's not pretend that Hager's the greatest talent in the world either.
What?
But he's it's fans liked it, man. And that's what AEW's always done. They've always leaned towards the fans, but like, hey, if you like it, we'll put it out there. They may not be believable, and believe me, with Marco. And here's the thing: he very rarely won. So, but anyway, with some of these talking about these budget cuts. So the total list of everybody, actually, you were right. It was 10. Dexter Lumis, Malcolm Bivens, Dakota Kai, Harland, Persia Parada, Raylan Devine, Draco Anthony, Vish Kanya, Mila Milani, and Blair Baldwin. A lot of that was developmental talent, people that they were trying to bring up. They got rid of them. And like you said, they've basically given this thing where, like, you got 3 months. You got 3 months to figure it out. You got 3 months to show that you've got some kind of promise. And if you don't, you're out. The thing that gets me is that some of these people, like, I wasn't particularly fond of the Dexter Lumis character, but he was getting better. He's far more talented than some of the people that they've kept. Malcolm Bivens is more talented than the people that they kept, but he made it clear he didn't want to stay. Dakota Kai's way more talented than most of the women on that roster. And it's like, the reasoning behind it doesn't make a lot of sense. And then you've got poor freaking Roderick Strong, who just can't seem to catch a break. And he's like, yeah, you got all these budget cuts. Like, yeah, I want to leave. And they're like, no. And we know exactly why they're not letting it. It's the same thing with Mustafa Ali, which, by the way, Mustafa Ali lost this week.
Yeah. Handicap match that he lost, which kind of protects him a little bit, but at the same time, it's like, where are you going with this? The only reason they did not let those guys go is because they knew there would be immediate assets for AEW or New Japan or Ring of Honor or wherever they're going to go, Impact, whatever. That's why they didn't let him go. So to kind of end this subject, the people who were saying that what AEW is doing is exactly the same thing, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. There's a big difference between a contract running out in mutually parting ways and a company basically coming up from behind you and cutting your legs out from underneath you. And that's what WWE's been doing. Yeah, and they've got talent on the roster that I haven't seen in months, like Shotzi. Is she still?
Dude, Shotzi's being absolutely. I expect her to be going soon too. Or them doing the Asuka thing where they just let her sit and languish. You know, it's
go to catering.
I mean, they're getting paid, but it sucks. You know, it's like their star, like Shotzi was on the rise, man. And then they went to the main roster and then they just took a complete crap on them. So, like, I really don't want to talk about it anymore because it's depressing. It's depressing. It's like you see these people work so hard and try to do what this company wants. And they literally change course on a friggin' soft fart from Vince McMahon. Yeah. So it's like Vince is just it's almost impossible unless you're already established, like the guys on the main roster or someone like Cody. And I'm gonna tell you what, that statement that Vince made where he said he's never happy with the product and like I said, how mercurial he has been over the last couple of years. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't have a whole lot of faith for Cody.
You're not.
I have a whole lot. I fear for Cody's future, but then again, he signed the contract. So
I talked about it a couple weeks ago. If you don't put that tail on him soon,
yeah. And the way
you don't put it on him soon, his momentum, the excitement from the crowd is gone.
Yeah, it's just. I don't get it, man. And like I said, it's almost like they're doing it to kill people's momentum rather than build them up.
And he's been talking about the Double Eagle Championship belt.
Bringing back the Double Eagle belt.
They can do nothing with that if he doesn't have a title.
Yeah. And the longer this goes, the more I get the feeling he's going to go up against Roman, and Roman's going to squash him.
Yep.
It's going to be the same thing. It's the Roman Reigns show, and everybody else is just hanging on by a thread.
The only opportunity Cody has is if Rock says no, WrestleMania next year.
Yeah.
Again, next year. 10 months from now. 10.
Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna. The way that they're going, I don't know how you're gonna keep it going like that. There's no way. Not even Cody could do that. And Cody is like one of the best promo guys in the business. So, but let's talk about something more. Let's talk about Dynamite.
Whew.
I'm depressed. This is depressing me, man.
FTR.
God, that match was so good. God. Dax Harder versus Cash Wheeler. I 100% think the right guy won. They've been putting Cash has had quite a few singles matches recently. Definitely put over how good he is in singles matches, and he's really good. Like I definitely think these guys. We're always comparing them to Tully and Arn. I definitely think he's the Arn. He's the Tully, which is he's a little bit better in singles match. But friggin' Harwood is not. It's not a joke, man. And I love, like I said, you can go online right now on YouTube and you can see comparisons between this match and Brett's matches with Owen. And they're like, some of their spots are dead on identical. And I can guarantee you that was for a reason. This match was a love letter to the Hart family.
Yep. And
not only that, but just a really good, solid, old school slobber knocker match, man. CM Punk on commentary was awesome. Him putting over his match versus Hangman, because Hangman is down with COVID right now. That was that all of it tied in really well. This was the way to open a show, man. Yeah. I mean, it was great. It was great. A lot of people weren't happy with the match that happened later. I don't think it's so much because of the fact that the Blackpool Combat Club basically ran through these guys, is that nobody likes the factory. No. The factory have go away. And I feel bad because I know QT Marshall, it's not his fault. Like, there's a reason why QT Marshall is a trainer. He doesn't have a whole lot of charisma. And he works better as a heel than he did as a face, but people don't really give a crap about the factory, and it's just, it is what it is. So, but they're good workers. BCC came in and they beat the living hell out of him. Yuto got over in his hometown.
Oh yeah, he was.
Dude, he was on, man.
The crowd was. I mean, yeah, it's his hometown. The crowd was just nuts for him, which it should be.
Yeah. On that mic and in that ring and absolutely incoming, nobody can touch Punk. That was good. Yeah, dude, Punk. I'm gonna tell you something right now. When Punk is done in the ring, when he decides he's finished, he needs to become either a friggin' announcer or a mouthpiece for somebody, because the guy's on the stick. He's gold. Do we turn the Golden Goose heel at Double or Nothing? Who knows, man? I definitely think we're moving towards a reformation of the Elite, because we're gonna get the Elite versus the Undisputed. So that's 100% gonna happen. How they do that, I'm not making predictions on that anymore, because I've always end up being wrong. Because they always do something else, but yeah, I mean, it's possible. Warlord versus Lance Archer, another match that had a lot of people. They didn't like the fact that Archer. They think he got squashed. I don't think he got squashed. I think it was them building up Wardlow to make him look better. Now, would I have preferred that this match was a little longer and that Archer came off as a little bit more of a monster? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But then again, that's what they've been building Wardlow as this whole time. And then what was cool about it was we got to see Wardlow pulling out moves that he normally doesn't do, because he's a big power guy. So I understand the people's issues with the match. But I get why they're doing this. This whole thing is a build up to Wardlow versus MJF. And because MJF holds all the cards, you got to do something to make Wardlow look like a legitimate threat. And this is how you do it. Would I have preferred that it happened to somebody other than Archer, because I really like Archer. And I don't feel like Archer has really, they've lived up to his ability. And in AEW, which is another one of those little things, but that I have issue with AEW with. But at least he's on Dynamite. At least he's on Dynamite. He's in the main event, and he's squashing people most of the time. So I don't think this is burying Lance Archer. I thought this was a decent big man match. It was a little short, but there you go. See here, what was it? The Jericho, what was it next? The Jericho Appreciation Society with
they're supposed to sit down, even though they threw the chairs out of the ring.
Yeah. You know what? This would have been good if it had just been Chris and Eddie. If it had been just Jericho and Kingston, would have been much better. But because it was everybody else, it kind of meandered, and it wasn't terrible, but it is what it is. It was a segment. It wasn't their best segment. Eddie was awesome as usual. I want Sean Dean to win the Diamond Ring next year. That would be freaking hilarious, dude. That would be absolutely hilarious, because that's something that he keep running through, is that every time he gets in the ring with Sean Dean, somehow Sean Dean wins the match. That's got to be a thing for him going forward. But it's a Philly Street fight, Hikaru Shida versus Serena Deeb. Obviously these two are awesome. They're in AEW's women division. They are two of the best, if not the two best. Like in my mind, it's Thunder Rosa, Serena Deeb, and Shida.
Yep.
And that's the best that they have. Those are their three big stars. This feud should have ended 5 months ago. Them dragging this thing out like this did not help. I know that people had issues that they had to take care of and things like that. They needed to pull the trigger on this thing way faster, because all the heat from it has been long died. I'm glad that it's over now. This is finally the rubber match. Deeb went over because they're obviously building her up to be Thunder Rosa's next big
challenger.
And hopefully after that, it'll be Deonna Purrazzo or somebody like maybe Jordan Grace, somebody like that. But it was a good match. One of the better women's matches we've seen on TV for a while. And like I said, hopefully they can move forward and do some other stuff, because, like I said, all the heat from this thing was dead. All right. So then they had the bit.
Right after that, you had the House of Black come out.
House of Black came out. Yeah, the House of Black. We had to turn the Ray. Again, I really liked the segment. I thought it was cool. This is
Return of the Death Triangle.
Yep, it's Return of the Death Triangle. For God's sake, hopefully they don't split up again 2 weeks later.
Oh, hey, they gotta stay healthy too.
Yeah, well, it's not just that. It's PAC's housing issues. Supposedly they've fixed that issue, because he was kind of like Walter. He didn't want to move stateside, but then because of all the COVID restriction and everything, it made travel impossible. So I understand, from my understanding, that he's got a place stateside now, and then he won't disappear every 2 weeks. But this is another feud that I feel like needs to come to a head so they can move on, so both parties can move on. This thing's been stretching out for a while now. Don't get me wrong, I love it. I think you got some of the best talent in the world in that friggin' ring, in between these two factions. But yeah, I really want them to build the House of Black into the biggest heel faction in AEW. I think that they have they have that potential. So let's give them that potential. Turn them into the biggest, scariest group in AEW. And what was it? Johnny said, are we meant to believe the house kept Fuego hostage till last Wednesday? I don't know, man. Like some of that stuff that happened that segment was a little nonsensical. I just thought it was fun. You know, like I love Death Triangle. I love the Lucha Brothers. I'm a big fan of Alistair and Brody King. Dude, Brody King is a badass dude. He's so good for a big man. Like if you have like I've been watching him since he's been in New Japan. He's so fun to watch, man. He's way more talented than he appears to be.
You don't like Rhea Ripley's boy toy?
What?
You don't like Rhea Ripley's boy toy, Buddy Murphy?
Oh, Buddy. No, he's really talented, dude. I'm saying
he hasn't done a whole lot yet.
No, he hasn't done a whole lot yet. So, but I didn't like the 10-man tag match. I thought, it wasn't bad. It was just kind of like we knew what it was meant to do. It was meant to show more tension between the Undisputed Elite. Didn't really get a whole lot of anybody over. Dante Martin, obviously, still looked awesome. He's the gold spot in that whole thing.
Yeah.
But Bucks did some great character work, though. Their facial expressions and everything was awesome. You know that friggin' split's coming.
Probably as soon as Kenny comes back.
Yeah, 100%. I think that'll be the catalyst. Or Kenny will be the guy that comes in for the save. And then the infamous ladder match. Dude, if it had not been for that, now let me ask you a question there. If it had not been for that spot, would this match have been higher rated? Because everybody's giving it like 3 stars, like a C plus, B minus. You take that spot out. I think this is a 4-star match. But man, that spot took the friggin' air out of it.
It's not as good as the one in Cleveland with him and Cody.
No, it wasn't as good as the match with him and Cody. It didn't feel like they were on the same. Matter of fact, it wasn't as good as their first match. It wasn't as good as their not their first match, their second match. It wasn't as good as their second match, but I still feel like this was a good B plus match until that freaking spot. And that spot, like I said, it just sucked the wind out of the entire building because everybody legitimately thought he killed himself. I mean, like I said, you got officials out there checking on him. It's like, oh my God, did we just watch Sammy Guevara break his neck?
Hey, can we please just watch the guys go at it and leave the women out of it? And the other
non-talent
like freaking what's his name?
Dan
Lambert. And keep those guys out of their matches.
Here's the thing, dude. We know what this is. This was the angle that Cody was going to work with Lambert and Sky, and it was going to build up. It was all to build up a match between Brandy and Paige Van Zandt, which nobody wanted because nobody likes. Look, I have nothing against Brandy. I think she seems like a pretty smart executive. She's not very good in the ring. She's not particularly good on the stick. She's not somebody that I go out of my way to watch wrestle. Is she the worst wrestler I've ever seen? Hell no. I've seen way worse. But I don't want to see a match between her and somebody who's greener than goose shit like Paige Van Zandt. Now, Paige Van Zandt, you could build her up to be the next friggin' like their version of Ronda Rousey, or better yet, Rhea Ripley, because Shayna Baszler, a la, NXT Shayna Baszler. But she needs a lot of training. She needs to learn how to be a wrestler. She's a friggin' fighter who needs to learn how to be a wrestler.
You bring back Nia Jackson, put her in a match with Brandy.
God damn it. You can't put somebody who's that green and doesn't really know what they're doing in the ring with somebody who doesn't. And Ty Conti's infinitely better than Brandy was. she's still not going to be a ring general enough
to
make that to lead Paige Van Zandt through that match. It's a car wreck, but it's a car wreck that they want. They're unlike WWE, who just drops shit and it just disappears. AEW tries to see it out, which is both a plus and a minus. In this instance, it's a minus. That storyline should have just died. And figure out a different way to bring Paige Van Zandt in. You know what I mean? But that's why they weren't invested in it. It could be good if she's in there with somebody who could really lead her through, like Thunder Rosa, someone like Serena Deeb, someone like Sheeta, but it's just not going to be on the level that they want it to be. And the more I see of this, the more I really think that this was Cody attempting to build a vehicle for Brandy, because it doesn't help him. And we all know that was one of her big things, is that and one of the big problems that they had was that she wanted to be a bigger in-ring presence. In fact, there were rumors that they wanted her, that she wanted to be inserted into a program and win the title. And I'm like, hell no.
No. It's like putting her in a match versus what's Jade Cargill they were thinking about months ago. Like,
yeah.
What?
And that's the other thing too, is like, I'm so sick of Dan Lambert, dude. Like I like Dan Lambert, but in small doses. And him being on the show every week, him being this little ratty dude, just chattering away, that gets old really quick. Damn, Sammy and Darby ever use a coffin, they might as well use a real one and take the loser to the cemetery. Yeah. But yeah, I thought the match the match was a really good match up until that spot. Yeah, Sammy needs to stop doing that shit, dude. He's gonna die. Let's go over Rampage real quick. Darby Allin versus Swerve Strickland was really good. I thought there was some really good storytelling in this.
Yeah.
The crowd, I'll tell you something, the crowd is, you see how behind the Swerve the crowd is. It's another one of those things where you look at WWE and you're like, what the hell were you thinking? Letting this guy go. You guys are friggin' morons. And this also had the suplex, that suplex that Swerve hit from the apron to the floor. That was nasty. That looked dirty as hell. But and I think that a lot of people were upset with that more because of what had just happened with Sammy. But I didn't think it was that bad. The women's match, it's good. It's nice to see the women out there. Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, and Kira Hogan, the quote unquote baddies versus Will Nightingale, Trisha Doran, and Sky Blue. It was a really short match. With the people that were in there, like Red Velvet can go for a decent amount of time. Kira Hogan's not bad. Will Nightingale's pretty good. Jade's getting better. They could have given this a couple more minutes, but I thought it was fine. I mean, they were out there to look good. That's pretty much what it was. Let's be honest with it. The way that their entrance, the way they came in, like I said, I don't have a problem with women wanting to be sexy. So it wasn't the best match in the world, but it was okay. Keith Lee versus Colton Gunn was pointless. No disrespect to Colton Gunn. He's not on Keith Lee's level. Them not putting Keith Lee in something with someone more significant, I really feel is wasting the guy.
Yeah, and there's a couple botches.
Colton. Yeah, here's the thing. Colton's really green. He of the two brothers, he's the greenest. So, I mean, he's in there with Keith Lee, and to be fair, that botch where he went for the famouser and he screwed it up. Keith Lee's so good, he turned it around. He's like, yeah, it was botched, but we can turn it into something, and he did. So
yeah.
So I mean, again, nothing wrong with the match. It was fine. It's just beneath Keith Lee. But then
Hook and Danhausen.
Oh my god, dude, I'm so fucking tired of this shit.
Hook finally spoke.
I like that they're going to put Hook in a match with somebody who can. Because here's the thing, Hook's got good fundamentals. He's still very, 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 very green. He needs to be in there with somebody who can really direct him. Tony Nese is one of those people. Tony Nese is excellent in the ring. Maybe not the most charismatic dude, but he's excellent in the ring. So this could be good. I like this thing. I get the Danhausen thing, but I just don't care for it. This is 1990s WWE to me. Danhausen is the curse you. It's I'm just not into the joke stuff. And granted, this was very short.
Yep.
I want to see Danhausen wrestle. I know that he's cleared. I know he's supposed to be ready to go here. Put him in the ring and let him wrestle somebody, and then do your goofy stuff. Give me a reason to give a shit. I'm excited for Tony Nese versus Hook. Not so much the whole Hookhausen thing where they want them to become a tag team. I'm like, why?
But then we had Samoa Joe versus Beretta.
Samoa Joe versus Beretta was awesome.
Yeah.
Trent Beretta is an undersung talent. Joe looked like a freaking monster. He just like that, dude. The way he beat Trent down in the corner, it legit looked like he freaking killed him. He's just pounding away on him, man. You forget how big Joe is. Joe's a big dude, and Trent's one of the best workers in the ring. I like the fact that he choked him out, and this was one of, since coming back from injury, I think this is one of Trent's best matches, and it was really good.
Another one of those guys that WWE let go with Samoa Joe.
Yep, which was like, well, and the whole thing with his injuries and stuff was weird. But
True,
then when he came back, he had him as like, why would you let him leave? Especially like his match versus Minoru Suzuki, and then this match versus Trent. This guy can go. Put the friggin' Ring of Honor world title on him.
Yep. In
my opinion, I love John. I love Jonathan Gresham. I think he's one of the best mat wrestlers in the world. But if you want to build that company up, you got to put it on a superstar. To get it relaunched, visit Gresham again down the line. I mean, the guy was one of the mainstays for Ring of Honor in their worst days. So all the props in the world to him, but Joe's the guy.
Yep.
Put the friggin' title on Joe. But anyway, that's it for this week, guys. I apologize. It was a bit of a downer this week. It's just so much bad news, and it's so many things that came out this week that were, kind of depressing. But yes, May the 4th.
Join the Empire. May the 4th be with you.
Yep. And we appreciate you guys. And hopefully we'll have some interesting news for you regarding Forbidden Door in a couple of days. What's up?
Speaking of this, think of this. 45 years ago. 45 years ago is when Star Wars came out. 45.
Dude, it's one of the longest running franchises of all time. And unfortunately Disney took a crap on it.
Yep.
But hopefully things get better. Anyway, guys, appreciate it. Everybody stopped in here. Leg Kick, Johnny Cage, Hicks Villain, Big Daddy. Make sure Maldacito, and anybody else that stopped in. Johnny Cage. Appreciate you guys. Have a good week. Bye.